Ай, чувачки, это 4-я серия прохождения игры Vampyr. Да, кое-чему научился поднимать уровень. Но не научился переставлять пистолет вместо колышка, блин, осиного. Сейчас будем что-то думать. Поехали. Так, я вроде поменял. Теперь у меня пестик в одной руке, в другой это. Да, кстати, я прокачал, короче, бойца. А ну, пестик как действует? Ой-ой-ой. Понятно, патриков надо взять. Шо мелочь? Так, пополнить все. Ага. Отлично. Что там дальше делать? Надо идти по кровавому следу. Развитие. Понятно. Так, тут еще писали. Блин, дробовик можно было найти, короче, в этих. В цехах где-то, что ли. На втором этаже. Да, здорово, я прокачал своего героя. А, он сам попадает. Ха-ха, гля, класс. Самонаводящиеся патроны. Да, тут пишут, бой с какими-то вампирами будет. Ну да что нам упыри? Не боюсь я никого. Так, что я дальше хотел? Во, вот тут вот я еще не обследовал. Кажется. А ну. Где тут дробовик можно было найти? Где-то вот тут наверху пишут. О, вот, это надо было F просто открыть. А ну, о, теперь у меня и дробовик есть. Дробовичок пока придержим. До лучших времен, да, я мачете прокачал вроде как. Ну и в принципе, я крут, блин, да я супер вампир. Я любому вампиру сейчас жопу надеру, блин. Где они? Мои враги. Так. Это я опять в свое жилище пришел, правильно? Ну да. Так, возьмем тогда пушки. Блин, вот не люблю такие вот тут игры, где надо, блин, что-то придумывать, блин. Так. По идее я должен выйти где-то правильно. Этого я обыскивал. Может, записку какую? Да нет. Блин, что ж делать? Так, ладно, вот мы видим, что там такое вдалеке. Кровь уходит сюда, на пол. Да, что-то не могу я это сделать. Северный ток.
fresh blood.
Фу, блядь, я
The whole
пересрал.
building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
Патроны для дробовика. Пригодится, будем пока с песиком тусить. Ага. Что вот это вот такое? Золото. А, это свеча, блин. Китайские фонарики. О. Что такое? Ля, прикольно. Наверное, это мотыга покруче, чем мачете. Так, двуручное оружие. Чтобы задействовать особое свойство двуручного оружия, выберите его и нажмите правую кнопку мыши. Так, например, косой можно отразить удар, если вы сделаете это вовремя, то нанесете врагу больше урона и оглушите его. Чтобы продолжить, нажмите. Ага. Понял. Двуручное оружие. И куда его? Что-то я ничего не понял. Вон сколько у меня этих проходов. Короче, блин. Как там оружие выбирать? Я забыл. «99 урона. Этот у меня урон 58. Так, ладно. Информация. Так. Ну и чё, как тебя переместить? Блин. Улучшить можно только в убежище. А как тебя переместить в ячейку, блин? Так, я вспомнил. Во. Пустая ячейка. Предмет. Нет, это не то. Левая рука, правая рука. Тут сыворотки. А вот это пустая ячейка. Сверхъестественная сила. Блин, я не втыкаю ни хрена, как я перемещал. Короче, ничего я не понял. Почему-то я не могу дробовик свой положить. Где-то мне почему-то появилось.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
Я кусаю своего вампира. Информация. Блин, капец он тут развлекался. Кишки у людей вытащены. И что делать?
Let me go.
Читать, разговаривать.
William was an honorable man. I could have saved him. Mr. Hampton, are you in there? I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred. Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock. I must return to my flock. They stray without me.
Кто это его послал?
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by scowl?
Агент Скалли.
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
Ага. Вот это что за Скалли. Неизвестные сроки жизни агента Малтера. Священник, что ли?
George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed his drink.
This man requires medical attention. You'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I almost tend to my fault. My flock needs me. Yes. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me.
Так, что теперь надо понимать, что происходило с ним? Искать трупака. Трупачину вампирю.
This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood.
Так, мне нужно где-то провести анализ. Так, тут закрыто. Тут закрыто. Так, а куда чесать? Блин, а как мне его анализ крови? Что надо сделать вообще? Может к этому подойти? А, действительно. Давай сваливать. Ну шо, падре? Святой отец.
Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What? Who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
I thought you were a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal. If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of the town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea.
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood
Of
of...
St. Paul's Stone, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it. I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again, from a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Да, слышал тут несколько концовок еще, короче. Если всех кусать и не кусать, разные концовки. Ну, я буду, наверное, плохую концовку, самую худшую выбирать. Хотя посмотрим. Пишут, типа, нельзя нападать на горожан. Чем больше горожан вы загрызете, тем...
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy,
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship isn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
Так, доставьте меня в больницу. Клиническая больница. Доставьте, короче.
It's okay, Jonathan. I'll see you later. We'll have a word in my office later, Jonathan.
Так, а куда мне идти?
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Mr. Hampton needs me right now.
Короче, я так полагаю. Сюда. Не, здесь закрыто.
It's locked.
Плохо. Да вижу, блядь. О, у него красные глаза. Блин, вот как мне выставить, чтобы... Вот вместо вот этого шняги... Блин, вот я вот эту вот воткнул сюда, она была другую херню. Блин, вот я тормоз тоже. Блять, я дубинку поставил в левую руку, косу убрал. О, отлично, просто замечательно. Я надеюсь. Теперь надо на ком-нибудь испробовать.
Rotten ores. Each heart contains the seeds of life. Drink at this river. Try it.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Так. Повежливее со мной.
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
Alright, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yammering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Блин.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Здоровье, качество крови, количество. Или Кокс. Подробнее. Загипнотизировать. Ну, давайте загипнотизируем. Так, что, зависла, что ли, игра? Да нет. А, Q загипнотизировать. Я как я его гипнотизирую, классно.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
Ля, я его веду, что ли? Идите по красному жертву. по-красному, сука. О. Так, искушение кровью. Объять клеокоса или отпустить, чтобы получить много единиц. Объяву получить много единиц опыта. Поднимите, это приведет к определенным последствиям. Чем больше узнаете горожан, тем больше подсказок связано с этим получите опыт. Пробел отпустить. F объять. Давайте отпустим, я ж не кровососущая скотина.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
Доставьте меня в больницу. А чё, на него теперь можно напасть? А, это я его типа в больницу отвел.
What happened? Did I black out?
Я отключился.
Whoa, I feel...
Так.
What?
Подсказки.
What
Где у нас подсказки? Слабость вампиром. Блин, я забыл эти долбаные подсказки. Косу эту нахер убрал, поставил вот такую вот шляпу. Классно, верно. Блин, я не втыкаю вообще в эту игру, как в нее можно играть. Клей, кокс. Клей и кокс. И подышать клеем, и по коксам понюхать. Так, что с ним можно сделать? Социальный слой. Количество, опыт. Ничем не болеет. Блин, надо его было покусать, падлу. Короче, я не втыкаю, что надо. Что это? Эдгард Сноуси. А, доктор Эдгард Сноуси. Мне надо этого доктора найти. В чем дело, док? Так, как в метро лампочку может выиграть. Ага, охуенно. А тут он не дерется.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go, but no famished hunter can run for long.
Хороший охотник. Может твое суперзрение. Хотя нет, не видно ни хрена. Не люблю игры, люблю, когда тупо идешь и валишь всех подряд. Когда вот так ходишь, пиздишь как Троцкий.
I'm not one to make wait, Doctor. I've patient. Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office is being prepared.
Что надо? Тем подробнее. Попрощаться у меня есть пара вопросов. Давайте зададим свои вопросы.
I would like to ask a few questions first.
Где моя комната? Где живет?
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
А где моя комната?
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Так, где доктор?
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
When you accepted the job from him, I thought you would have known about your employer.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me.
Блин.
The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Спасибо, сестра. Блин. Где моя комната? Ты кто такой, чувак?
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Part of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
О, можно с ним торговать. Давайте поторгуем.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Что это такое? Купить. А это что? Масло. Винт. Блин, какие незаменимые вещи. А это что за херня? Дробовик мотора. Ага, пусть хрен хватит. Да продаю, что ли? Или покупаю? Артель купить несколько, давайте посмотрим. Блин, я все деньги сейчас растратил. А это что за поебень? Давайте бинтов купим. Нахрена? Зачем? Все, денег по нулям. А это что такое? Блин, короче, не хочу я ничего не покупать, не продавать. Все.
Another night of the glorious battalion of Pembroke.
Что надо делать? А, вон 27 метров. Наверх, что ли, идти? Так. Сейчас приду к этому дому, как это...
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
How much in the field?
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
Подробнее, осмотр.
Do you need medical help yourself, nurse?
I'm fine, really. I just need to sleep.
Загипнотизируем ее, давайте. Попрощаться.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Короче, странно все это. А ну, я ее хочу загипнотизировать.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Папка. Понятно, короче.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Возьмите себя в руки.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
Возьмите себя в руки.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Пипа, блин.
How long have you been a nurse?
Or long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
Прекратите жаловаться, нет, вы правы. Есть на что надеяться.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
Езжай на Канаду, раз устала.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Что-то не так с врачами.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him.
Пиздёж за
But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Почему Мил-
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Назад. Назад.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Так, пойду к психу подойду. К этому.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face.
Уже
No,
мутировать стал.
I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
Давай.
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How was your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just
этот
escaped
же
death in the
бородач тоже
trenches to be
коновал.
surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Могу ли я помочь?
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Кто вас лечит?
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Мы смотрим. Загипнотизировать, конечно. А ну, медосмотр. АМ. Социальный слой. Блин. Какие-то чуваки появляются, но я, блин, ни сном, ни духом. Для чего мне это? Прощаться.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Гудбай, гудбай.
I wish I could be sick.
Блин, надо было эту девку подготовить сделать.
See her again.
Я. С этим я, по-моему, базарю. А ну сейчас этого подробнее.
Time has lost
Блин, что за
Good evening,
какая-то
Mr.
происходит
Hampton.
пиздец?
How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sorry, I must apologise for my behaviour.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Блин, будет страшнее, если это со всеми. Надо будет ходить, блин, вот так вот пиздеть. Потому что я не любитель, блин, пиздеть, я любитель убивать. шока.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I have received alarming news about his recent behaviour. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Подробнее, наверное. Так, а ну, зачем его запер?
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hallcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Все, давай. А, подожди, М надо нажать. Берем его в свою команду. Шайку. Блин, что я делаю? Хрен его знает. Да блин.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Злоба, отчаяние.
Who should I avoid in this part of town then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
Да блин, это каждую
People are
весу
still in
надо
despair.
загадывать.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Все, давай, пока. Да блядь, у него еще одна.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers Trade Union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Это банда вам
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Я думал хоть банду пойти положить. Кто теперь возглавляет банду?
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Клей Кокс, блядь. Все, я могу идти. Могу быть свободен. Все, давай, чувак, пока. Пока, я сказал.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Блин, вот честно сказать, друзья, не любители вот так вот тут пиздеть ходить. Ходишь и тут пиздец. Хватаем когтистой лапой. Ну,
Time has lost its effect on me, but the suffering
правда, она
continues.
явно не в себе. Давайте не будем с ней позарить.
Hearing discussed on every street corner. The daily routine.
Хотя ладно, по базарю, так уж и быть.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital.
Добрый
Who are you?
вечер,
Your
мисс.
name has no meaning to me, mortal.
Твое имя мне
You're
не
nothing
говорит.
but
Если
dust
я
blown
в
by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon.
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is
Ну
that?
да.
And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know,
Если тебя зовут Тельма, то считай, твоя жизнь удалась. Медосмотр, загипнотизировать. Давайте ее досмотрим.
Do you require my services, Miss Howcroft?
I have no need for your medicine, Dr. Reed. Blood is the only drug I need.
Мое лекарство кровь. Вы вампир?
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Как вы себя чувствуете?
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
Так, загипнотизировать Р. Ты слышала про синдром Катара или Катара или Котара?
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They
Короче,
believe
все,
that they are
чувак,
putrid,
сваливаем.
that they are dead, a ghost or a
Ребенка
ghoul,
явно
or in
не
your
себе,
case, a
давай
vampire.
отходим.
Delusional, you say? Ugh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Доступно чё? Так, а если ее загипнотизировать? Как гипнотизировать?
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Time has lost its effect on me. But the suffering continues.
Why? Я просто с ними базарю, а вот это чисто...
There again.
Не, что-то он вообще какой-то мудный.
I wish I could be sick again. Feel my blood boil with the fever.
Fear and disgust on every street corner.
Это он? Кто мне нужен?
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together. Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir. Thank you. And you are? I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Так, задать личные вопросы, интересоваться жизнью не сможет гипнотизировать. Давайте. Жизнь в Лондоне. О себе.
Please could you tell me something about yourself? I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
О, Господи. Почему вы решили стать врачом?
What made you choose to be a doctor? I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
Так, буду рад помочь, наверное.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can. This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
В экспериментах.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours? I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories at first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful. As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail. You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
Все. Блядь, еще больница. Нахуй мне больница знать.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke? Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Рад помочь, похоже, вы оптимист.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times. I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science. Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation. True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Да, не то, что коновалы в нашей поликлинике. Рад помочь.
Do you need help with anything in particular? Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished. Do you want me to play the errand boy for you? Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need. I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Новое расследование. Назад. Необходима подсказка. Ага, хрена, блин.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Goodbye, Auf Wiedersehen. Так, и куда мне чесать? Куда пойти? Недостающие ингредиенты, добраться до аптеки. А где аптека? Ага, 218 метров. Так. Как я до нее доберусь? Не, ну если пиздеть, так уж пиздеть конкретно.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead. A colleague? Are you a doctor too? Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue. What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked? No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Давайте попрощаемся.
Goodbye, Mr. Chadana.
Не торговать, не пиздеть. 208 метров. До этой. О, что я вижу. Сундук.
It's locked, all right.
Закрыто. Блин. Так, короче,
I'm
ладно.
sorry you ended up on my plain and cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
Блять. Блин. Не может через трупака перешагнуть. А этого монетку забрали. Так, ладно, как попасть нам на вот эту аптеку, блин? Может, через больничку? А, стоп, мать Тереза. Я и не заметил. Требуются медсестры. Их жизни ля-ля-ля, требуются медсестры, обращайтесь. Ближайшие. Понятно. Понятно. О, 9 метров. Блин, она медсестра или это?
What can I do for you, doctor?
Мясник. А, я с тобой уже базарил. Тогда прощай, прощай.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Моя подруга.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Helen.
Good evening, sir.
As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Берем быстрой лапой медикаменты. Так, и куда дальше чесать?
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book. I'll never could keep anything from her.
Это уже кто? Готовится это? Шел
Good evening,
в мир иной,
Can I help
отошел,
It's
даже
my son
кредит
who needs you,
купил.
sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Расскажите о себе.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Вы настолько богаты.
Are you really that
Конечно.
rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
Кем вы работаете?
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Чему ж ты их учишь?
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived, but we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Блин, я даже не читаю эту шнягу. Мне не интересно пиздеть. Поинтересоваться жизнью в Лондоне, а ну личные вопросы. Нахуй иди. О жизни в Лондоне. Что вы думаете об этом?
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke
Что это
Hospital.
было?
What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you
У
mean?
меня
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Ага. Это вымогательство.
She charged you for a bed.
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
Я разделяю.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Вот честно, пофиг на эту учительницу. Ну, давайте ей медосмотр предложим.
Do you require medical attention as well, Mrs. Goswick?
I have other concerns right now, Doctor. But I'm fine, thank you.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Goodbye, Miss Гросвик. Блин. А я думал, медосмотр ей там это. Раздевайтесь, проходите за ширму и ждите меня.
My sweet girl. Brings me like a book. So many deaths. Never could keep anything from her. Still more coming. How can we be sure we're making a difference?
Так.
You always knew the ways to calm the children, Ellen. As for me, what a lonely year.
А вот как раз и ширма, сюда бы ее завел, и никто бы ничего не узнал. Странные существа. Женщины. Но прикольные. Короче, без записи попробую я добежать до аптеки. Фу, блядь, очка, ну что это?
If they were to find somebody.
Это GTA, блядь, какое-то. О. Вампир ублюдский. Так, вот 186, походу, сюда. Так. Так, куда подчесать? 83 метра. Так, ракурс какой-то. Так. Тут закрыто стопудово.
I cannot enter.
Блин, заперто. Хоть какой-то экшен. 84. Блин, ну я протупил. Там же внизу описание: найти свой кабинет на втором этаже. Ладно, доберемся до аптеки сначала и вернемся. Этот город нуждается в тебе, ага.
Opium is one of the main ingredients of Strickland's medication. Never a good move.
отдыхать еще.
But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
How long must I wait, damn it? Blaming me will not further your... Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you? About my condition. I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation? I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly. Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later. I will not let you down, my boy. I'm alright. Don't waste my sweet girl. Reads me like a book. I'll never cook you. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverley Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
I'm sorry, Dr. Reed. I know that Pembroke will prevail and survive this epidemic.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
I located the shop, but it was vandalized, and the owner is missing. All I found was your order.
I was afraid of such bad news. People are so desperate they're ready to burgle a shop for drugs.
That's quite a list you ordered. Opium, sodium hypochlorite. It can't be just headaches you're trying to cure.
This dreadful influenza, of course. I already ran some tests on hopeless cases. Without success, I must admit.
Do you realize you could create a lethal poison without the correct dosage? Then there are the legal ramifications.
Is this not true of any medical substance, Dr. Reed? However, if you would agree to improve it, I'd be glad to accept your help.
As long as you promise to be scrupulous with your experiments, I may try to gather these substances and even help improve upon them.
That's all I'm asking for, Dr. Reed. That's all I'm asking.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland. I can't let Strickland put his patients at risk with opium. Perhaps an adjusted formula will deliver more of a placebo effect.
I've wasted too much energy for so little result.
It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin. Strickland's project could be dangerous. I have a mind to report him to Dr. Aykroyd.
Вот записки. И что это значит?
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
Так, можно еще пестик прокачать, наверное. Да, блин. Что за херня? Ага. Следующую ночь.
Until my research is complete.
Вот.
I better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Короче, все. Пока-пока. Наверно. Все, пока-пока.